How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just want to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite from tonight, which is April 6th, 2022. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was Adam Cole versus Christian Cage. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Adam Cole went over with the boom. Well, after the match, as Adam Cole was celebrating his victory, Christian Cage rolled out of the ring, and as soon as that happened, Red Dragon, which are Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, came out and attacked Christian Cage and beat the shit out of him, and as that was going on, the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, came out to even the odds and attacked Red Dragon, so the Jurassic Express and Red Dragon were beating the shit out of each other, and it ended up ensuing backstage as well, and as that was going on, Christian Cage went backstage. Well, as soon as Christian Cage, the Jurassic Express, and Red Dragon went backstage, Adam Cole was standing in the ring, and Hangman Page came out to the ring, and Adam Cole was on the microphone and was saying, No, Hangman. I'm not going to fight you again unless you put the AEW title on the line. Well, Hangman Page took the microphone from Adam Cole, and Hangman Page was saying, Adam Cole, you want a rematch against me, and you want to challenge for the AEW title? Well, Adam Cole, next week, since we're gonna have a live AEW Rampage, and we're gonna be in Texas, you got your rematch, but we're gonna do it in a Texas death match. So, Hangman Page and Adam Cole were staring each other down and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way, and that was match 1, by the way. Match 2, it was Samoa Joe versus Max Caster in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the men's division. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Samoa Joe went over with the Coquina with the Muscle Buster. Well, before the match, as Samoa Joe came out to the ring, the Acclaimed, which are Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, came out, and Max Caster done a rap on Samoa Joe, and Anthony Bowens said his signature line, Boston, the Acclaimed have arrived, and everything. That was cool. That was before the match, by the way. And after the match, as Samoa Joe was celebrating his victory, Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt appeared on the Titantron, and Jay Lethal was talking about how him and Sanjay Dutt weren't going to come out and interrupt Samoa Joe's moment like he did their moment at Ring of Honor's Supercard of Honor, because they have more respect for Samoa Joe than Samoa Joe has for them. And Jay Lethal was talking about how Samoa Joe was his mentor and how he was his trainer and how he was Samoa Joe's student and how he reached out to Samoa Joe, but Samoa Joe wouldn't answer his calls, but yet he would answer the calls to a billionaire. And Jay Lethal was talking about how Samoa Joe should now get a new t-shirt and be called the Samoan Billionaire. And Jay Lethal was talking about how he was going to have how he wanted to have a big celebration for Samoa Joe for everything, due to everything he's done for him and everything. And then Sanjay Dutt was talking about how, well, Sanjay Dutt was saying, Jay Lethal, it's never too late for it because we can still do it. Jay Lethal was saying, all right, next week, Samoa Joe, we're going to have a celebration for you. And everything. And then Samoa Joe continued to celebrate and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. Match 3, that was match 2, by the way. Match 3, it was Shaun Dean versus Shawn Spears. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Shaun Dean went over with a schoolboy. Well, after the match, MJF came down to the ring and was trying to calm Shawn Spears down because Shawn Spears was pissed off because Wardlow tried to trespass to the ring, but the security guards escorted him out, and Shawn Spears not only was pissed off about that, but he was pissed off about because he thought MJF distracted him too, so Shawn Spears left the ring, and MJF was still in the ring looking on and everything. That was cool. That was match 3, by the way. Match 4, it was the Hardys, which are Matt and Jeff Hardy versus the Butcher and the Blade in a tables match. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Hardys went over cause Jeff Hardy lastly eliminated the Blade with the Swanton Bomb off the ladder onto 2 tables. Now, after the match, as the Hardys were celebrating their victory, the Andrade family office, which are Andrade El Idolo, Jose the Assistant, Mark Quinn, Isaiah Cassidy, and the Bunny, came out, and the Andrade family office was getting ready to gang up on the Hardys, but before they got the chance, Sting came out, and Private Party, which are Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy, tended to gang up on Sting, but Sting pulled out his baseball bat and attacked Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy with his baseball bat and laid him out, and Sting and Andrade El Idolo stared each other down, but Andrade El Idolo, well, before the stare down, Jose the Assistant tried to attack Sting, but Sting swung his baseball bat at Jose the Assistant, and Jose the Assistant ran off, and Sting and Andrade El Idolo stared each other down, but Andrade El Idolo pulled the Bunny in front of him, and Sting and the Bunny stared each other down, and then the Andrade family office, then Andrade El Idolo, Jose the Assistant, and the Bunny went up on stage, while the Hardys, which are Matt and Jeff Hardy, went to Sting's aid, and Jose the Assistant helped Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy up, and so while the Butcher and the Blade were still laid out because of the match, Sting and the Hardys, which are Matt and Jeff Hardy, were down at the end of the stage, and the Andrade family office, which are Andrade El Idolo, Jose the Assistant, Mark Quinn, Isaiah Cassidy, and the Bunny were on stage, and a stare down between Sting and the Hardys and the Andrade family office happened. Went on and everything, which that was cool. And that was after the match, by the way. And that was match 4, by the way. Match 5, it was Hikaru Shida versus Julia Hart. Wait a minute. Match 5, it was Hikaru Shida versus Julia Hart in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match for the women's division. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Hikaru Shida went over and advanced. Hikaru Shida went over with the Falcon Arrow and advanced in the women's division of the Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament. Now, after the match, as Hikaru Shida was celebrating her victory, Serena Deeb came out and tried to attack Hikaru Shida from behind with a steel chair, but Hikaru Shida had her kendo stick, so a stare down between Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida happened, and they were getting ready to brawl, but Serena Deeb retreated and got out of the ring, and Hikaru Shida and Serena Deeb stared each other down and everything. That was cool. That was match 5, by the way. And match 6, which was the main event, it was FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, versus the Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, for the Ring of Honor tag team titles and the AAA tag team titles. That was a great match, but the ending to it, FTR went over and retained the Ring of Honor tag team titles and the AAA tag... Wait a minute. And match 6, which was the main event, it was FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, versus the Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, for the Ring of Honor tag team titles and the AAA tag team titles. That was a great match, but the ending to it, FTR went over and retained the Ring of Honor tag team titles and the AAA tag team titles, because Dax Harwood pinned Matt Jackson with the big rig from Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. Now, besides the matches, AEW aired a video package of the confrontation between Jay Lethal and Jonathan Gresham at Ring of Honor's Supercard of Honor, and the involvement with Sanjay Dutt and the return/debut of Samoa Joe and everything, which that was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed the Blackpool Combat Club, which are William Regal, Bryan Danielson, and Jon Moxley. Well, Tony Schiavone brought up to William Regal about the Blackpool Combat Club being a force to be reckoned with and everything, and then William Regal was talking about how Friday night on AEW Rampage, Bryan Danielson will be going up against Trent Beretta, and talked about how he felt sorry for Trent Beretta because Bryan Danielson is going to destroy him and everything, and then talked about on the same night, Jon Moxley, and then Tony Schiavone brought up about Wheeler Yuta becoming the Ring of Honor Pure World Champion and everything, and William Regal, that was Tony Schiavone was the one that brought that up. Well, William Regal was talking about how Wheeler Yuta has impressed him and everything, but on the same night, on AEW Rampage, Jon Moxley will be taking on Wheeler Yuta, and just like Bryan Danielson will destroy Trent Beretta, Jon Moxley will destroy Wheeler Yuta. And everything, and then Jon Moxley was talking about how he was going to go up against Wheeler Yuta and how he was going to destroy him and how he was going to break all of his bones and watch the blood come out and everything as well. That was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed the Best Friends, which are Trent Beretta, Chuck Taylor, Orange Cassidy, and Wheeler Yuta. Tony Schiavone brought up about Trent Beretta going up against Bryan Danielson and Wheeler Yuta going up against Jon Moxley Friday night on AEW Rampage. Well, Chuck Taylor was saying, Tony, I hate to interrupt you, but Wheeler, why'd you turn your back on us? Because we trained you. We let you sleep on our couch. I bought you your tights. What's wrong with you? And Trent Beretta was saying, you know what's wrong with him, Chucky T? He's a pathetic loser. And I'm going to do what he could never do, and that's beat Bryan Danielson Friday night on AEW Rampage. And Wheeler Yuta went to talking shit, and Trent Beretta shoved Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta said, don't touch me. Well, Trent Beretta, Chuck Taylor, and Orange Cassidy walked off, and Wheeler Yuta was looking on and everything. That was cool. Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti came out and cut a promo using flashcards talking about how the American Top Team was more like the American Talk team because all they do is talk, and the American Walk team because all they do is run away, and talked about how they ain't winning no fans, no friends, nothing, and talked about how they owed the American Top team money and everything, and Sammy Guevara talked about how he's in line for another shot at the AEW TNT title and everything, and then Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti called the American Top team the American Plop team and everything, and then Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti continued to talk more shit with the flashcards and everything. Just cool. The Jericho Appreciation Society, which are Chris Jericho, Daniel Garcia, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker, ended up in a brawl with Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz, and Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful were beating the shit out of the Jericho Appreciation Society, and so Chris Jericho, Daniel Garcia, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker ran out of the building, and Jake Hager was in an Escalade and was the getaway driver, and so Chris Jericho, Daniel Garcia, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker ended up getting into the Escalade, and Jake Hager drove off, and Eddie Kingston and Santana and Ortiz were chasing after him, but Eddie Kingston and Santana stayed back while Ortiz was running after the Escalade, and Eddie Kingston and Santana were trying to signal Ortiz to come back, but he wouldn't do it, and everything. That was cool. Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz, came out to the ring, and Eddie Kingston had a microphone and cut a promo talking about how him and Santana and Ortiz beat the shit out of the Jericho Appreciation Society, and talked about how Chris Jericho was a coward and how he was going to beat big man Jake Hager, and talked about Daniel Garcia saying that he knows where he lives and he was going to kick his ass and everything as well, along with Matt Menard and Angelo Parker and everything. And then Santana was talking about, and Santana called the Jericho Appreciation Society the Jericho Bitch Society, and Santana was talking about how they were going to continue to beat the shit out of the Jericho Appreciation Society and everything, and then Ortiz issued a challenge to face the Jericho Appreciation Society in a trios match next week and everything. And so Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz, stood tall after cutting the promo and everything. Just cool. AEW aired a video package of QT Marshall and Aaron Solo of The Factory representing the Certificate of Appreciation to Hook, and Hook, as QT Marshall, had the Certificate of Appreciation award in his hands, and Hook slammed Aaron Solo's head into it, and Hook walked out of the ring, and Danhausen tried to curse Hook, but Hook didn't fall for it, and Danhausen was confused and everything. That was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed Jade Cargill and Mark Sterling, and Tony Schiavone brought up about Jade Cargill coming up on her 30th match and possibly her 30th victory and everything, and talked about the baddies in the crowd and everything. And then Jade Cargill was saying, Tony, first of all, cut the shit. Second of all these baddies in the crowd, they're my people, and they're more beautiful and badass than any of you slobs here in Boston. But I'm going to cut to the chase here. I will be facing Marina Shafir soon, but I'm going to say right now, I am tired of these MMA fighters coming in on my show. I am tired of all these rejects coming and invading my show. And whoever AEW has to come at me, because I am that bitch. And this is that bitch show. And well, Mark Sterling was pretty much quoting what Jade Cargill was saying, like repeating what she was saying and everything as well. That was cool. Alex Marvez interviewed MJF and Shaun Spears of the Pinnacle, and Alex Marvez was talking about how Shawn Dean picked up a victory against Shaun Spears thanks to Wardlow and everything, and then MJF was saying, Marvez, we don't mention the name of Wardlow here. And MJF was talking shit, and then Shaun Spears was saying, you know, Piggy, you pissed me off. You have pissed off the wrong crew. And I'm going to kick your ass. And Shaun Spears was going off, and MJF was trying to calm Shaun Spears down, and then MJF was saying, you know, War Dog, if you show up next week, there'll be 20 more security guards escorting your ass out of the building. But enough about you, War Dog. Shawn Dean, you want to call yourself the captain? And you want to claim that you beat me? But listen, bud, it was a fluke. Next week, how about you face me in the ring next week? And I will beat you next week. And everything. Which that was cool. Christian Cage and the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, cut a promo, and Christian Cage walked off, and then Jungle Boy cut a promo talking about how Red Dragon, which are Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, have been getting all up in their business week in and week out, and then Jungle Boy issued a challenge to Red Dragon and put the AEW Tag Team titles on the line next week on AEW Dynamite, and then Luchasaurus was saying, Dragons versus dinosaurs, and everything. That was cool. AEW aired a video package of the build-up of the ongoing feud between Thunder Rosa versus Nyla Rose for the AEW Women's title, and as that vignette happened, it was announced by AEW that it'll be Thunder Rosa versus Nyla Rose for the AEW Women's title at AEW's special event Battle of the Belts 2. That was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed Jamie Hayter and Tony Storm, and Tony Schiavone brought up that so far in the women's tournament, Jamie Hayter and Tony Storm have advanced and everything, and then Tony Schiavone even brought up that there was about no physicality and everything, and Tony Storm was saying, Jamie, no physicality, how about it? Well, Tony Storm reached out her hand while she was saying that, was saying, Jamie, no physicality, how about that? Jamie Hayter slapped Tony Storm's hand, and Jamie Hayter was saying, you know, Tony Storm, I'm not going to agree to no physicality, because I hope that you and I face each other, end up being the final two, because I want nothing but to kick your ass and to win the Owen Hart Memorial Cup tournament. And then Tony Storm was saying, sweetheart, we've just begun, and everything. And then Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter stared each other down and everything. That was cool. and Alex Marvez interviewed Swerve Strickland. Well, Alex Marvez brought up about Swerve Strickland not only having a busy weekend with Ring of Honor's Supercard of Honor, but was also busy with the Oscars and everything. And Swerve Strickland was talking about how he was busy at the Oscars and everything. And well, Swerve Strickland was talking about how he was busy at the Oscars and everything, and then talked about how him and Keith Lee got jumped on AEW Rampage by Team Taz, which are Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, and how him and Keith Lee aren't done with Team Taz and everything, and then Swerve Strickland was telling Alex Marvez he had to go and everything. And then Swerve Strickland, as he was going into the locker room, Team Taz, which are Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, attacked Swerve Strickland and was beating the shit out of him, and then Keith Lee came into the locker room, and as Ricky Starks and Swerve Strickland and Ricky Starks were brawling, Keith Lee and Powerhouse Hobbs were brawling as well, and Keith Lee ended up getting the best of it and knocked Powerhouse Hobbs through the wall, and Ricky Starks and Swerve Strickland and Ricky Starks were already laid out because they got slammed into the wall as well, and Keith Lee was the only one standing tall and everything. That was cool. Now, besides all that, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. MJF done guest commentary along with Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur during the match between Shaun Dean versus Shawn Spears. MJF done great on guest commentary. The referees for the event were Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, Stephon Smith, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Adam Cole versus Christian Cage. Paul Turner refereed the match between Samoa Joe versus Max Caster in the Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the men's division. Stephon Smith refereed the match between Shaun Dean versus Shawn Spears. Paul Turner and Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between the Hardys versus the Butcher and the Blade in a tables match. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Hikarushida versus Julia Hart in the Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the women's division. And Rick Knox refereed the match between FTR versus the Young Bucks for the Ring of Honor tag team titles and the AAA tag team titles. All the referees done awesome as usual. Now the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite Wednesday night that's been announced so far. It's going to be the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, versus Red Dragon, which are Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish for the AEW Tag Team titles, and the Jericho Appreciation Society, which are Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, and Daniel Garcia versus Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz. So, the match card that's been announced for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite so far on Wednesday night looks like it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to it. And the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage Friday night, it's going to be Bryan Danielson versus Trent Beretta, Jon Moxley versus Wheeler Yuta, Swerve Strickland versus QT Marshall, and Red Velvet versus Willow Nightingale in the Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the women's division. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage on Friday night looks like it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, I just want to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite from tonight, which is April 6th, 2022. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.